Hi, you're watching Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media, all of our platforms. If you're watching us today, today is National and International Tequila Day. My cohort in Youngstown, Ohio is
Jim Johnston.
I am here sweltering in San Antonio, where it's been 100 degrees for, I don't know, 100 days. You know, from here, hell is a local call. But we have been dissecting and loving Los Tres Garcias Tequila 3G. You might have seen them a little bit on Instagram. They are available on Facebook. And that's all the information we have, folks.
Yeah, we don't have much more than the bottle and the taste.
So Jim and I are left to our senses, you know. So we're getting down and dirty with this tequila. We loved the Blanco, nominated it for Brand of Promise in the Blanco category. As you can see, what we know for sure is it's tequila from Arandas. That means it's in the same microclimate, in the same neighborhood as Tequila Tapatio, Tequila G4. Of course, those are the Camarenas, and those two guys are like freaking geniuses. They're doing stuff. One is a Tahona tequila. The other one is a Tahona plus rainwater combination tequila. So those two brothers are doing way different things. We don't know what this family's doing.
No. No website to speak of, Facebook page with some pictures, but not a lot of information, and that's it.
That's it.
We're going taste.
So we're going on taste, folks. This is a Reposado. As you can see, it's fairly clear. My lighting's not the greatest here because I've got some outdoor lighting that I'm working with, and Jim is sitting in a corner. But it's a strong yellow. So I'm going to go on a limb and say maybe 6, maybe 8 months. I'd imagine that the barrels they're using are whiskey barrels. Look at, there's bubbles. Now bubbles again, I love to see bubbles. It's rare to see a lingering bubbles in tequila, but you're getting them, and you're getting some residual bubbles as well. Love the Blanco. It's very pristine, so I'd imagine that whatever is in the Blanco is going in the barrels. Is this a hybrid cork or is this a real cork? It looks like a hybrid.
This looks like it's real cork. It's just cut, and it might have a little. No, it looks like it's real cork.
Yeah, it might be a reinforced cork, maybe. There's so many different things with it.
Yeah.
This is a first for us. We have been, I don't know if anybody's been watching us, but we are experimenting with this glass is what we're hoping to someday shortly be the official glass for agave spirits. We're calling this the Jarrito. It is courtesy of Chisholm Trail Craft Glasses, and they were the folks that sent us the Bermioli glasses. There are two versions of this. This one has a longer neck, very similar to a Glencairn glass, which I also have here, and we're calling it a Jarrito because this is more of the archaeologically and historically accurate vessel that was around before the Spanish conquest. I didn't know this, Jim, until I spoke to the gentleman who was the owner of Chisholm Trail. The stem and the handle are European inventions. The owner of Chisholm Trail is an archaeologist by trade, oddly enough. So he's been on these Mesoamerican digs, throughout Central America and Mexico, and he has seen these vessels. If you run a search on Google, you'll find every vessel ever discovered in these digs, and not one of them has a handle. Most of them are square. They're like for chocolate. They're actually they imbibed chocolate, melted chocolate. So this is kind of his attempt to make something historically accurate for agave spirits, and let's see how good it is. we've fallen in love with it. It's as good, if not better, uh, like the Glencairn. So I'm really enjoying it, and I love the wood notes.
The European way over here.
Yeah, well, that's okay too. I love the wood notes. Very sweet, very mellow.
This definitely has a whiskey barrel.
Yes, it's a whiskey barrel, and it's like right here. You don't even have to. You don't have to dig for it. It's like right up, comes right up to greet you. Wow,
that's so mellow.
It's, what do you think? 6 to 8 months max, maybe in a rarely used barrel, or.
Well, the thing about it is, I can smell the wood from the barrel on this. It's definitely got a nice char on it. It's, I would say, maybe a one-time use whiskey barrel
Okay.
But it's got to be long enough to get that smell, and I'm assuming what's going to be that flavor out of here.
Well, the color is pretty hardy.
Yeah. I would go more towards the 8 months than I would the 6 months, just because it's picking up all those characteristics that you would normally find in a whiskey.
Right. This is beautiful. Oh, wow. The notes are just singing to you.
Yeah.
So you're getting, primarily you get the sweet wood notes, you get caramel, you get maybe a little bit of honey.
I definitely get that honey, and it's kind of that sense of where we got the mineral flavor off the Blanco. Here it's a little bit, the sweetness is a little bit less agave and a little bit something else.
Right.
More wood.
It's more wood. It's kind of like added that extra layer of complexity. It is the natural progression that one would expect, that we've come to love and expect in our tequilas as a aged in a whiskey barrel. It's very well done. It's so pleasant. Yeah. Let's see what it tastes like, man. Let's go. Let's dive in. Wow. Retronasal, you get more wood notes, more definite wood notes.
Yeah.
I'm getting like a toast, like a toasted almond or some kind of toasted nuts, maybe.
Yeah, I get the same thing. It's got an earthy but subtly earthy flavor to it, and the mineral from the Blanco is now the retronasal kind of little bit of burn coming off that, but it's very warm, and it's a whiskey barrel warm.
Yeah.
It's all the char and the wood notes that have sweetened and mellowed out a little bit by sitting for that time, and it's very nice.
This is beautiful, man.
It's great, neat.
Yeah, I would say, I'd be hard pressed to put this in a cocktail. I don't even know if I would or not, just because it's so very well done. Whoever's doing their barrel management, like I said, we don't know anything. There's no website. The pictures that we have on Facebook are of the agave plants and the soil, but we have not seen the factory. We searched the gnome list. It makes one brand. Guess which one?
Right.
That one. So it's not a big maquila.
I got into a little pinch the other day. I had these sitting out, and this was the one in reach, and I had to make an emergency margarita.
Okay.
And I didn't want to use the Reposado, but I figured I'm going to try this, and I'm going to see what this tastes like in a cocktail. So I took a little sip of it. I loved it by itself. Then I put it in the margarita. And the way I make my margaritas, I don't do a lot of sugar. I don't even do agave. I use the orange liqueur and the fresh citrus with some Cointreau and some fresh lime juice. This complemented a really well-made traditional margarita incredibly.
How much of the tequila did you use? Just out of curiosity, what's your formula?
Well, the formula, like I was taught at Maria's in Santa Fe, is 10 ounces of tequila, a splash of triple sec.
Yeah, but that's Maria's. That's because you're at
rub a lime over the top of the glass.
Yeah.
I go 2 ounces, and then fill with the citrus. In this case, I did 1.5 ounces of each. Just put it over the rocks to taste it. It really, really, with the orange and the citrus, was very, very nice. And it added, I don't want to call it woody sweetness, but it added a little bit of that honey sweetness to the margarita, and it took the edge off the lime juice a little bit. It took that tang off the lime juice. That was one of the nicest sipping margaritas I've had in a long, long time.
Wow.
And I think it's because of how...
The quality ingredient.
Yeah. This is a complex tequila, but it's not overpowering. And the flavors on it are just, they complement citrus, they complement orange, they complement sweetness. But this is a really nice Reposado, and
wow.
I gotta say, it made a great margarita. Even though I would tell you most of the time, all you need is this.
Yeah, and when you mentioned orange, I think that if there's a little bit of just a hint of baking spice, which I'm hoping will come through a little bit more in the añejo, just a hint on the very top. But I think that orange that you mentioned, I think that's what brought it to mind. It could be that we don't know what kind of fermentation they're doing. We don't know if it's in wood barrels or stainless steel. We don't know if it's open air. We don't know anything. But
whatever they're doing, they're picking up some great stuff, though.
Yeah, there's got to be some, in that whiskey barrel, there's got to be a little bit of orange of some sort, like orange spice, orange peel, orange zest. It's so slight, though, that I would say that when you pour it in the margarita and use your orange liqueur of any type, you'd bring that right out. You'd pick it right up.
And it doesn't compete with the flavor of the tequila. I actually took a sip of that margarita after having just a sip of this by itself, and I could tell that the flavors that I tasted by itself were in there, but then I could also tell that I had the other flavors of the margarita in there, and the way they blended together was so nice. Typically, I would not recommend putting something of this quality in a cocktail, but for a really top-shelf, high-end margarita, I would say this, with some good Cointreau and some really fresh citrus, would be phenomenal.
Yeah, you're talking about a $15 cocktail, ladies and gentlemen, and why not? This is a little known brand. Like I say, we don't know anything about it. I know that you can see them on Instagram. They have a Facebook page. They don't have a website. There's very little information that we know about them, but what we know is that they start with some great product. If you can find it, ladies and gentlemen, this is a gem. This is a gem. And
this 3G throwing us off. It's more like 3D.
Yeah, it's like 3D, right?
It looks the same though, but I'll tell you, the Blanco is incredible. This is very good. It's just, I have really high expectations for the Añejo too.
Me too, actually. So, again, I think we both agree. Brand of Promise nominee in the Reposado category.
Yeah.
I know it's hard. It's going to be hard to find. If you can go online and find it. Jim, you couldn't even find pricing on it, right?
I couldn't find pricing on it. They imported it out of Chicago, or the importer's got to be in Illinois.
Well, there are some reviews on the Binny's website. I didn't take a look at them. I didn't have time. But they're from 2014. So we don't know what their pricing is now. We don't know what has happened in between then and now. It's a small operation. They're a one-man band distillery. And that should tip you guys off. This you need to find this.
Yeah.
You need to find it, because we can't be the only ones this lucky, pal.
No. This is going way up in the top shelf, though. So
yeah, we got to hide this.
I made a margarita with this, but I'm not letting anybody reach for this to make another one.
No. We need to hide. This is the stuff that I need to hide from me, and I will, on occasion, hide tequilas from me, and this is one of them.
Yeah.
Again, that's our take on Tequila 3G. Thank you to those folks there for making it happen. We love the stuff. I wish we knew more so that we can impart that information to us. And see, we pick stuff out, and then once we look at the notes afterwards, then it all makes sense in our heads. It's like, oh, that explains why this is this, or that explains why that is that. But all we got right now, we're just flying by the seat of our tongues. and
Working.
hopefully, yeah, hopefully we're accurate. If you guys are looking at us or watching us on YouTube, subscribe down below. Write us on in the in the comment section. If you've had it, tell us what you think. Tell us what you know, because it's a secret to us. We have no idea. And like Jim said, it's not available in Ohio. So that might be one you wanna talk to. So, but in any case,
Yeah.
that's our take. Tequila 3G. I'm Mike Morales here in San Antonio. That young man out there is
Jim Johnston in Youngstown, Ohio.
You've been watching Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on National Tequila Day. If you're probably watching this in September, but we had a great time. And,
Could be a national holiday.
It should be a national holiday, International and National Tequila Day. Whatever you do, remember to tomar sabiamente and
Sip wisely.